Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is a module that we have started in the last class, that is yesterday, that is a research skill. And we have covered this one, and we have started this module in the last class, and we are going to, or I'm going to study, or we are going to continue with the same module in the today's chapter, that today's class, that is the research skills. So in the last class we have started with the basic introduction of the research skill topic module, and we have covered so many we can say the important topics, or we can say the we can say the just the brief topic, that is what are the various indexes, what are the various chapter that is covered in this module, that is a research skill, and what are the various content that will be used in this one. So that is a focus on the research skills, that is what are the various research skill that is used in the developing the students research skill, that is how to develop the student research skills, that is used in the development part, that is focus on the research, a guide to developing the student research skill. This is the module of this one, this is the PDF of this one, right? Then we will discuss about the index, that is what are the various indexes that is available in this chapter, that what are the various chapter that is used, or that is covered in this module. So this chapter first is the forward. We have discussed about this chapter in the last class, then about this monograph, then using the chapters in this monograph, that is how to, or what are the various chapter that is used in this monograph, that is a preface. Then we have also covered about the chapter number 1, that is the introduction and the overview, that is introduction about the research skill, that is what is the introduction, or what is the research skill, how it is used, then overview of the research skills, that is the introduction, then model, then overview. So these are the various topics that we have discussed. Now today I'm going to start with the chapter number 2, that is the focus. Then we have discussed about the various index, like third topic is the component, then curriculum links, then before research, then putting it in the practice, then from the classroom, division 1, division 2, then copyright material. That is the content of this module, this module, that is the research skills. So we have started with the preface, that is the forward, that is how to focus on the learning, or what are the various outcomes, that is focus on the learning. So let's start with this one. Let's start with the previous class session, what we have covered in the last class. So this is the first page, that is the forward page that is used, that is focus on the learnings, that is published by the Alberta Education in September 1985. So this is the published tool that is used in the September 1985. That outlines an integrated program model for the school libraries. That is, it is used for the school library, that is a forward page, that is a forward, that is a use in the libraries, that is a research skill that is used for this one. This is one of the model, this is one of the diagram that shows the integrated program model for the school libraries. There is the instruction that is given, then there is a management, and from management this is the development. So one is the instruction, then management, then development. That is the cooperative planning and the implementation. That is the integrated program model for the school library. To process the information proficiently, student needs finely tuned critical thinking skills. Teaching Thinking, an Alberta Education Draft Discussion Paper 1989, presents an in-depth rationale for and support the direct instruction in these thinking skills, and the ability to deal effectively with the profilation on the information that is more essential now than any other in the history. For information to become personal knowledge, students have to make connections and see relationship between what they read. So to gain the personal knowledge, students have to make the connections and see the relationship between what they read, what they hear, and what they know. So there's a relationship between what they said, or what they read, or what they see, what they hear, and what they know. And they need to learn a comprehensive research process that can be applied in any subject area in real life situations. That is a real life situation that is used. So what they read, what they study, what they occupy, what they know. Now about this monograph, that is what is the monograph, that is what is the main crux of this module. This is the crux of the module, is that there are multiple chapters. These are the various chapters that deals with the multiple parts we have discussed, and the appendix also provides a planning form which may be prove useful to the teachers which are new to integrating research activities into their classes. Now teachers who are new to integrating research in their classes may wish to read this document in the sequence. Then we will discuss about the chapter number 1, that is the introduction and the overview. This chapter has the first question, that is chapter or this chapter is useful to me or not. That is the first topic, that is the first, we can say, the question that is asked from this session. So this is the question that is asked, that is this chapter is useful to me or not. So this chapter presents a research model and suggestions all teachers should consider before beginning a research activity. This chapter begins, or this chapter presents a research model and suggestion that all the teachers should consider to before beginning a research activity. Then what will I find in this chapter? That is what is the main crux of this chapter. What I find in this chapter. That is what is the main chapter about. That is the introduction, then research model, then overview. So these are the three main topics that is covered in this chapter. The first is the introduction about the chapter. That is the introduction about the chapter means introduce the chapter. That is what is chapter, or talks about what is the main crux of this chapter, how it is used. Then there is a research model. Then there is a overview of this research model. This is the diagram that shows how the two students of the goals of the schooling that is used that establish a Alberta education specify the students will be proved with opportunities and means to develop the competency in the reading. That is, there should be a development in the competency. That is also a research skill that is used by the students. That is a research skill that is established by the Alberta education that specifies that develop the competencies in the reading, writing, speaking, listening, and viewing. So these are the various competencies that should be developed in the among the students in the reading part, in the writing part, in the speaking part, in the listening part, and in the viewing part. Then develop the learning skills of finding, organizing, analyzing, and applying the information in a constructive and objective manner. That is, develop the learning skills. That is, what are the various learning skills that is used for the finding, organizing, analyzing, and applying the information in a constructive and objective manner. That is also the developing the learning skills of the students, of the participant, that is focus for the findings, the solutions, organizing the solutions, analyzing the solutions, and applying the information in a constructive and the objective manner. And also acquire the knowledge and develop the skills, attitudes, and the habits required to respond to the opportunities and the expectations of the work world. So whatever the work world that is used, so that is occupied or that is carried out by the various technology, that is carried out by the developed skills, attitudes, and the habit that is required to respond to the responsibilities or the opportunities that is making the world. And the following pages outline a resource-based research model. That is, what is a research-based model? Which helps the student to manage the information efficiently and effectively, and in this process to gain the skills which are transferable to all the schools and the work situation. That is, these are the different pages that shows the diagram that is also based on the research. That is a research or the resource-based research model that is used to manage the information effectively and efficiently. And the model provides a developmental approach to teaching students how to do the research. One fact is on the focus on the learning. That is how to focus on the learning, or one of the main component is on the focus on the learning. That is how to focus on the learning. And using this approach, students gain skills which are transferable to many other types of or any other types of curriculum based research. That is, using this approach, students gain the skill that is transferable to other type of curriculum based research that is used. For example, historical, for example, empirical, action, etc. And too many situations in their day-to-day life, that is everyday lives. This is the diagram that we have discussed in the last class. That is Joseph, where are you right now? So this is the diagram that we have discussed, and this is the main diagram of this chapter, because this diagram explains each and everything, or we can say the each and everything of the module. That is the main part of the module, that is this diagram. So this diagram is divided into 5 parts. One is the planning, then information retrieval, then processing, that is the information processing, then information sharing, then at last evaluation. So the main diagram is divided into 3 parts. The first one is the planning. So first of all, there is the instruction that is given, and after giving the instruction there is a proper management that is done. That is there is a proper planning. In the planning, we have discussed about how to establish the topics, that is plan out what are the various topics that is used for discussions, then identify the information sources, that is what are the various sources. So only identification, not getting the sources that is used for the getting the information, no, but only identify the information sources. Then identify the audience and the presentation format. That is, what are the various audience, what are their background, what are their format that is used, and the presentation format. That is, what are the PPTs that is used in this one. That is the presentation formats. Then establish the evaluation criteria. That is, what are the various evaluation criteria that is used. That is, what type of criteria is used for the evaluation. Then next is the review process. That is, the review process means reviewing the whole planning concept or the planning phase, that is whether the planning is fruitful or not. So these are the five content, these are the five topics that is covered under the planning. The first one is establishing the topic, that is identify the topic, then identify the various resources or sources of the information, then what are the various audiences, then evaluation methods or criteria, then next is the last is the review process. Then after getting the planning or after taking the planning, the next step is the information retrieval. That is the information retrieval that contains the locate the resources, then collect resources, then review process. That means first one is the locating the resources. That is the, what are the various resources that is used, that is locating the resources. Then next is the collect resources. So first of all, locate what are the things needed for the information processing. So locate them and then take out, or we can say the collect what are the resources that is used in the information retrieval or the information processing or information sharing. So that is, first is the locate resources, then next is the collect resources, then next is the review process. Then after the information retrieval, the next phase is the information processing. So after getting the planning and the retrieval, the next phase, the next content, next type that is used is the information processing. The first one is choose the relevant information. That is, what is the relevant information that is used, that is choosing the relevant information. That is also a part of the information processing. That is choosing the relevant information. Then evaluate the information. So first of all, choose what is the relevant information that is used, then evaluate the information, that what is the information that is we are talked about, that is evaluate the information. The next is organize and record the information. That is, first of all, organize the content, then record the information. That is, organize, that means putting up the independent components into one component, that is putting the interdependent component at the we can say in a pace, in a scale that is useful, that is fruitful for the processing. That is organize and record the information. So getting up all the independent information or data, organize them in a together way, that is recording the information. The next is make connections and the interferences. That is, what are the various connections that is used and what are the various inferences that is used for the information processing. So make the connections and the inferences. The next is create the product. That is, next part is in the information processing is creating the product. That is how to create the product. That is also a category of the information processing, and this is one of the important model or step that is used in this model, that is information processing. And the main part is of this information processing also includes the creating the product, where the main target is to create the product, create the target, create the research skill that is used, that is creating the product. The next is revise and the edit. So revise the content, that is, what is the content that is talked about, that is revising and edit the content. The next is the review process that is used, that is reviewing the process. This is a part of the information processing. The next is the information sharing, that is the next part, that includes the various we can say the point that is covered. That is, for first is the present finding. That is what is the present finding by which we can gain the access, by which we can take up the module, that is the present findings. That is, what are the various findings, what are the various outcomes, what are the various sources by which we can use the findings, that is the present findings. The next is the demonstrate appropriate audience behavior. That is, demonstrate means show what are the various appropriate audience behavior, that what is the behavior of the audience, that is appropriate audience behavior. That is, what is the behavior of the audience that is very appropriate as per the information, that is the demonstrate appropriate audience behavior. Then again there is a review process, that is reviewing the whole process, reviewing the information sharing, that is review process. Then after reviewing the process, there is a next part, next phase, that is the evaluation. So after information sharing, there is an evaluation, that is evaluate the product, whether the product that is built is correct or not. Evaluate the research, that whether the research is correct or not, procedure is correct or not, skill is correct or not. Then next is the review process. So these are the 5 stages that is covered under the research skill, that is covered under the model that is used. This is a development approach to the research, that is how the research should be developed among the student, what are the various steps that is used in the development of this one. The first one is the planning, the next one is the information retrieval, the next one is the information processing, Then next one is the information sharing. Then next one is the evaluation. So these are the 5 parts that is covered under this one. So this that starts from the management and go up to the development. That is from the management to the development. Then next is the overview of this one. So we have covered about the introduction. The next is the overview, and then also the taking the research as a continuum. So this is also taking the research as a continuum that is used. That is the overview. The beginning of the research is curiosity. Its essence is a disagreement, and its goal, truth, and the justice. That is the overview of this one. That is the beginning of the research is generally used, or the curiosity. Its essence is the discernment. Then its goal is the truth and the just. That is the overview. That is also used as a research as a consortium or a research as a continuum. And this document present that is how it is used, and how it is not used. So this document presents a result model that is covered that contains both the continuum of the research procedure and the skills, and the continuum of various levels of the research, that is introductory to the advanced. That means it is going from the introductory to the advanced, that is covered under the research as a continuum. So this contains various stages. The stage one is again the same, that is also taking the research as a continuum. The first stage is the same, that is the planning. Then stage 2 is the information retrieval. Then stage 3 is the information processing. Then information sharing. Then next is the evaluation. So these are the 5 stages that is used. That start with the planning, then information retrieval, then information processing, then information sharing, then evaluation. So these are the 5 stages that is covered under the research as a continuum. So this document presents a research model that contains both a continuum of the research procedures and the skills, and a continuum of the levels of the research, that is introductory to the advanced level. These are the 5 stages that is used in this one. This is the introductory level and this is the advanced level. So it starts with the introductory level, it ends with the advanced level. This is the figure 3, that is the continuum of the research stages and the continuum of the research levels. This is the continuum of the research procedure and the skills present the stages through which the students will progress in order to produce a desirable research product. That is, what are the various research products that is used, that is, what are the various methods by which the students will progress in order to get the or produce a desirable research product. And the student begins by preparing for research, that is the planning stage, that progress to the information gathering. So first is the planning phase, then go to the information processing or information gathering, then go to the information processing stage, then next is the information sharing. So these are the various stages that is defined with the different languages. That begins by preparing for the research, then progress to the information gathering, then synthesize the information, that is a processing stage, then present the final product. These are the various stages that is covered under the research as a continuum. And the continuum is cumulative, and the students acquire expanded skills and the procedure while working through the stages. However, a teacher may decide to focus on only one aspect of the research stages or skills for a certain assignment. That is, what are the various assignments that is used in this one. And this approach to using the research activity will be explained in the greater in the detail below. This is one of the detail below that is given in the various chapters. And this is the also the code that is given. First time student researchers long on curiosity but short on the expertise. That is, the first time student research on anything, that is very curiosity among the students, and there is a less impact, there is a less expertise, that requires a considerable teacher assistance. So first time when the student is doing the research, that needs assistance from the teacher also. Because of the variance in the background and the exposure, students may be at this introductory stage at different ages. That means there is a proper consideration for teacher assistant with the student when the student is teaching or when the student is researching for the first time. But there is a more curiosity as compared to the expertise persons. As they progress from the different levels to the different level, that is from the introductory level to the advanced level, now students become more and more, we can say, the used to with the concept, used to with the research skill that is used. And these are the very question that is comes in the mind of the various sharp mind people that is doing the research in an efficient manner. Now these are the various questions: what do I need to do? That is the how I make the planning, that is what do I need to do. Then where can I get the information, that is what are the various sources by which we can get the information. Then what information is important, that is what is the main information that is required for this information, for gathering the information, that is what information is important. Then how can I present this information, that is information sharing. Then how do I do, or how do I do in this research activity. These are the various phases. This is the phase that is considerable in this process. So what do I do need to do, where can I get the information, what information is important, how can I present the information, how do I do in this research activity. And prepared with many of the on answers, these students will have moved a few steps closer to the truth. Now, using the research, that is how to use the research. The quality of any library media program must be judged in relation to each school's educational philosophy and its educational objective. That is, whatever the quality of any library media program, that must be judged in relation to each school's educational philosophy. That is, what is the main crux of this one, what is the main quality that is used in the library systems, in the library media program, that is judged to the school's educational philosophy. That is, what is the school educational philosophy, and what are the various educational objective that is used in this one. That is, the quality of any library media program must be judged in relation to each school's educational philosophy and its educational objectives. Now, both the continuum of research procedures and the skills and the continuum of levels of research are flexible. That is, both the continuum are flexible. Now, students should personalize each continuum, establish the student expectations for the grades or the divisions. That is, schools will or should personalize each continuum, that is how it is used. Then establishing the student expectations for the grades or the division, that is what are the various expectations that is used, that is establishing the expectations that is covered under the grades or the division. And before developing the research activities, the individual teachers will decide which skills to emphasize and which levels are appropriate in certain units. That is, what are the various skills that is used to emphasize, and what are the various concepts, what are the various levels that is appropriate in the certain units. And in the elementary classes, teachers often teach research skills in complete curriculum units. In secondary classes, it is common for the teacher to interpret the research skill to the total curriculum activity. So in the primary, it is often the teachers often teach the curriculum skills in the complete curriculum unit. That is, in the whole part, it is teaching the research skill in the whole unit, in the whole curriculum topics. But in the secondary classes, it is common for the teacher to do the research in a personally manner, that is research throughout the total curriculum that emphasizes more than the others in different product or project. And whatever the approach is taken, it is imperative that research skills are taught and not in isolation but in relation to the curriculum. Practicing research skills in this meaningful content allows the student to be active learner growing in the discriminant and the independence. That is used for the independence that is developed, that is a research skill that is used for the active learner. That is elementary education, that is used for the elementary education. There are multiple levels that is used for the primary, that is used for the secondary, and that is used for the higher secondary level, that is from the 1st to the 5th, then 6th to the 10th class, then 11th and the 12th class. Now, next chapter is the chapter number 2. So, in first chapter we have covered about the introduction, we have covered about the overview. Chapter number 2 is the focus, that is how to focus on the object. So, let's start with the chapter number 2. So, come back from the break. Now, let's start the session again. This is chapter number 2, that is the focus, that is how to focus on the research skill, or what are the various activities that should be focused on the research skills. Now, this is the question that is discussed about the chapter number 2, that is the chapter number 2, that is the focus. Now, this chapter, or is this chapter useful to me? So, teachers who are unfamiliar with the integrating research, that is how to integrate the research into various curriculums, will find valuable background information in this chapter. So, this is from the learner point of view, that is unfamiliar with the integrated approach, that is what are the various approaches that is used in integration. So students who are unfamiliar with integrating research into curriculum will find the variable background information in this chapter. That is the valuable information are getting in this chapter. Now what will I find in this chapter? That is, what after studying this chapter, what will I find in this chapter? So the three key areas component of any research activity, that is the student, teacher and the resources, are listed and the described. That is, what are the various options, what are the various activities that is carried out by the student, that is carried out by the teacher, that is what are the various resources that is listed and the described. This is one of the picture that shares or that shows that how to integrate the various technology among the student, teacher and the what are the various resources. These books are known as the resources, and these are the student, that is we can say integrate their knowledge, integrate their part with this. The next is the focus on research. Now how to focus on the research? So first of all, question is that what is the research? So anything I want to investigate, anything I want to find out, that is a research. So this is the exact definition that is given by the Marcus Aurelius. This says, or he says, research is the ability to investigate systematically. This is one of the important line or important concept, important word, that is systematically. So research is nothing but the ability to investigate, not in any direction, but in ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under your observation in the life. That is a research. So it is the ability to investigate, that is it is ability to find out or investigate systematically, that in a systematically manner how to, or what is the main crux, or what is the main finding out that is used. So it is the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under your observation in the life. So it is able to systematically find out what is the main concept that comes under your observation in the life. So ability to find out, ability to investigate the various concepts in the life. And taking the philosopher's advice, a systematic investigation of the word research reveals that the literal meaning of repeated going over and looking through to find something as such. That means, if I am talking about the philosopher advice, that is a systematic investigation of the word research reveals the literal meaning of repeated task, or repeated task means the same task is repeated again and again, that is going over and over and over, and looking through to find something, that is a search something, that is a research. That means research means again and again finding the search, that is known as the research, as the name advice, re and the search. Now, putting it all together, that is what are the concept that is used, or putting it all together, we can conclude that the research is a process that seeks an answer to a question. That means if there is any question that is available, so seeks the question, getting the question, that is also the research. Seeking an answer to a question, that is also a part of the research. That is a systematic investigation, that is in a proper manner, in a systematic way, in a sequence. There is an investigation that is carried out that covers the meaning of the what are the various repeated going words, what are the various findings that is going to find out something, that is a search. And those systematic skills and the procedure that brings the seeker closer to the answer are the focus of this document. So whatever the systematic skill that is used, whatever the procedure that is used, that is covered under the answer that is covered in this document, that is the main focus of the research. Now this is one of the example. So this is the focus on the research, that is what is the research. Now focus on the student, that is how the research is available with the student, that is the focus on the student. Hello. Yeah, Joseph, are you able to hear me? Hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Yes, are you able to hear me? So there is some connectivity problem from your side? I think there is low bandwidth, right? Hello. Yeah, are you able to hear me? Okay. So this is the new module that we have started in the last class. That is the research skills, right? Okay, so this is the module that basically focus on how to develop the research skills or how to develop the skills for researching anything, for investigating anything for the students. Alright, so this is the small part that is left for today's class. So this is how to focus on the students. So let's start with this one. So this is the code that is given, that is if we believe that research and the study skills or the information skills or whatever we want to know on them are important, then there must be a systematic approach to their development. So whatever we believe, whether they may be a research skill, whether they may be a study skills, whether they may be information skills, the main crux is that, the main part is that, the main important part is that there must be a systematic approach to their development. Not that I'm doing right now one thing, then tomorrow I'm doing something different, then day after tomorrow something different. No, there should be a systematic approach that is used in the development of the research skill. If I want to investigate something, that flow must be maintained in a systematic manner. This is the main focus on the student. That is, if the student believes that there must be a research skill, study skill, information skill that is required, so that is very important, and there must be a systematic approach that is used with their development. This code is given by the Ken Hook. Then this says that student needs the research skills to shape their search for their answer. That is, they are getting their answer, they are maintaining their answer, they are looking for their answer. And a systematic approach to the development of these skills, that is development of this student skills among the development, among the research that they yield, and student ready for the independent problem solving and the lifelong learning. That is, student can left for the lifelong learning, that is used, that is available for the learning process. And the key idea is to teach a process that can be transferred to any research condition. That means the main purpose is that, the main condition is that any process and any criteria, that is how to teach the, or how to carry out the students, or how to do the student, that is the key idea is to teach a process that can be transferred to any research situation or any research scenario. This is the main crux, this is the main idea among the student. And the students learn research skills more readily when skills are integrated with the curriculum, and students will get the, or will learn about the more about the research skills when, what are the various conditions in which they get, or the student are getting the research skill more rapidly or more readily, then when the skills are integrated with the curriculum. That when we taught the student with the subject also, with the, for example, the computer science subject, for example, I will introduce a research skills among the, or along with the computer, that is very integrated with the curriculum. That is also the one of the main, we can say, the target main of the development of researching or getting the research skills among the students. Then next is are taught with the focus on developing independent learner. That is, they are think about, they are independent learner, and they are critical thinkers. That is, they are taught about, or they are taught with the focus on developing independent learners and the critical thinkers. And skills are also viewed by the students as relevant to their needs, then are related to the students past experiences. That is also one of the part, that is also one of the skill that is used, that they are related to the students past experiences and shared through the cooperative learning. So students learn the research skills when the skills are integrated with the curriculum, when they are viewed by the students, when they are related to the students past experiences, and when they are shared through the cooperative learning, or when they are taught with the focus on developing the independent learner. So these are the main key areas on which the key skills are be developed, on which the research skills are developed among the students. And using these same process skills as they proceed from the primary grades from to higher education will enable the student to become familiar with the steps required for research. That is, become familiar, that is, what are the various steps that is required to build the, or that is required to get the research. That is, become familiar with the steps that is required for the research. Then understand the framework that supports the searching for information. That is, understand the framework means understand the scenario, understand the structure that supports the searching for information. That is, we are able to search any information with the help of the research skills. That is also the one of the main aim that is covered under the primary grades to the higher education, that enables the student to understand the framework. Then internalize a variety of research procedures for independent usage. That is, maintain a variety of research procedures that is used for the independent usage. That is the internalize. Then adapt the procedures to the situation. That is, what are the various procedures that is used, that is how to adapt the various methods as per the scenario, as per the situation. So these are the various goals of the student. These are the various activity that is carried out by the student. So student must be integrated with the students, or the students is carried out from the primary grade to the higher education, that will enable the student to become familiar, understand the framework, internalize a variety of research procedures, then adapt the procedure to the situation. So these are the various activities that is carried out among the students from the primary grade to the high skills. Right. This is how the focus is on the student. The main focus is that everything or anything that is done in the research skill, that must be integrated, that must be done in a systematic manner to their development, right? And the key idea is to such a process or teach a process that can be transferred to any research situation. And students learn the research skills more rapidly when the skills are integrated, when they are taught, when they are viewed, when they are related, and when they are shared. And these are the various example how they proceeds, or how the process skills are proceed from the high school to the from the primary to the high schools, right? The next is the focus on the teacher. That is how to focus on the teacher, or what is the teacher's role in the research skill, how the teacher will get there, or will brush up their research skills. This topic I'm going to cover in the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class. So that's all for today's session, till the focus on the students. Then the next session will be on the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class. All right. Now, Joseph, any doubts about this module, that is the research skills? Yes, Joseph, tell me. Yes. Hmm. 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 And this is one of the best module, we can say the important module and the knowledgeable module in this Edexcel course. And one thing more, that mail, I have already forwarded that mail to the concerned person. All right. No, till now there is no reply, and when the reply came, I will forward that reply to you. All right. Yes, I'm searching this PDF, and after this PDF, if there is something left in the module, whatever the session that I'm including in the syllabus, then I will carry it out the next PDF. Otherwise, this is okay. All right. Okay, so you want this PDF? You have already. Okay, Larry sent to you. Okay, all right, Joseph. Bye bye, Joseph. Welcome. Bye bye. So that's all for today's session. Now, if there is any doubts, you can ask the doubts from me. And in the tomorrow's class, we will be taking. I'm taking your next topic, that is focus on the teacher. All right. So thanks a lot, everyone. Bye bye.